Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. It's another Thursday, time to talk about making socks. And for me, today is more of a vindication from my little hospital episode experience a couple weeks ago. If you didn't see that episode, that was Tuesday. It was just a couple days ago. Go ahead, look at that. Nobody's injured. Everybody's fine. So just put your mind at rest at that. But there are some humorous stories that go along with it. So I was so distraught with that I didn't have my opportunities to play with all of my yarn. I mean, I didn't have anything else in my bag here. Everything was taken out. I didn't have other stuff. I didn't have like multiple projects, and having my knitting taken away from me, oh my gosh, it was very traumatic. But in the grand scheme of things, life is okay. So I was wanting to, once I got my stuff back, I went with an abandon. I absolutely did. I had to work on it. I mean, there is no doubt I had to work on it. And not just one. I went ahead and started the second sock too. And let's see. So have you guys, let me get it out of the plastic bag, because it was put in a plastic bag because it was put in jail. Yeah, so have you guys seen that where you've got the different things on TikTok and Facebook Reels and what have you on how you find the center pull of your yarn? You have a regular 50-gram skein of yarn, 100 gram, and you take it down and you just smack the living crap out of it, right? You just smack it a whole bunch of times, and supposedly it makes that end easier to find. Well, I turned my 50-gram ball of yarn or 50-gram skein into a donut. I mean, this was the typical. That's what this is. This is what this is. This is the same thing, right? I was out with friends and everything, and we're like, hey, can we find the end on this? I'm like, I don't care. So that's what we did. Smacked the living crap out of it and turned it into a donut. And there wasn't a lot of yarn barf, I can tell you that. I did have to dig in a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't like pulling out a big chunk. There was nothing like that. So here's my two different put ups, and it's kind of interesting. It has a definitely different look here as the little donut than it does here. I mean, would you expect these two to be the same? Maybe not. And I got this on, this is Drops Fable yarn. It is a sock yarn, 50-gram sock yarn. And it's a number one. It's 224 yards, 205 meters each. And I will be using the majority of both of these to make a pair of socks. I will have some left over. There you go. So I had to do it. I had to do it beyond this. And then once I got the yarn out, I didn't feel like just smushing it. I could have smushed it back into more of a ball, but I thought it was really funny that I have a donut. I made the donut. So on the one that I had going, oh, did I just pull the wrong needle? Maybe. Ooh, look, I got some live stitches there. No live stitches. Stop that. Stop leaving live stitches without a needle. Bad. All right, no harm, no foul. Picked them up. So on this, look, I finished the heel flap, the little heel, the flap. And now I'm going to go ahead and get ready to start going around and around and around and work on that gusset. So this is sock number one. And what I did with this pair of socks, very vanilla pattern, right? We all work on different things, and you can church up any vanilla pattern, by the way. So I am using 2.25 millimeter needles. So here's my recipe, okay? I'm going to share my recipe. Cast on 64 stitches. I did a 2x2 ribbing, which is knit 2, purl 2. I did that for 15 rounds. And then for my straightaway, I did 55 rounds. There you go. On that one, sometimes I'll do 50, 55. It really depends, but I've got plenty of yarn. This isn't going to be a Bigfoot sock, so I wanted to use a little bit more of it. And then for the heel flap, I am using half the stitches. So in my case, 32 stitches. I slip the first stitch. I knit the second stitch. I do that across the 32. Then I come back and I purl all my stitches. And I do that until I have, it's 32 rows and it's 16 rows with the slip stitches. And then I can count those V's, right? That's how you count it, is those big V's with those slip stitches. They elongate the stitch. It makes it easier. And when you slip that first stitch of every row, whether it's the knit or the purl, right, you're slipping those stitches, those make a nice pickup point. So when I go to pick up my stitches, once I do all my gusset and stuff, since I had 16 stitches, I pick up 2 extra. I pick up 18. When I make my larger socks, when I'm doing the 72 stitches, I cut that in half. I have 18 of these slip stitch rows and I pick up 20 stitches. And that's just how I do it. It makes it so much easier when I find my socks and I come back to them and go, what was I doing? Which is really kind of humorous because I have this pair of socks here, and wouldn't you know it, I deviated. I did. So on this, you're like, what'd you do? I don't think this right here, see, that's not a straight line. I mean, it's slightly curved right here. It's not that sharp line. I think what I did is I did a decrease row, decrease round, and then a plain round. Normally, I just do every other round. Decrease, plain, decrease, plain, decrease, plain. This one, I did differently. I don't know why. I don't know when I started making this. This is part of my taglet series, but it is a pair of socks, right? It does count. So I was like, hey, I want to start working on that one, but I have to really pay attention and kind of make sure that I get the second sock to look like the first sock. So I do like sticking to the vanilla socks, having the same pattern. And that way when I do leave things behind, which we've noticed, I've left quite a few pairs of socks behind. I had no idea. I really didn't. I can come back to them and I can try to fix it, or I can try to finish it. So that's what this is just my plain vanilla style pattern. Easy going, not an issue with that. I try to do the same thing for the toes that I do on every single one of them. I might add some cables to it. I might add some lace to it. I might add some whatever to it, but I try to keep that basic, simple construction the same. So when I come back, it's easier. Where I get into issues is when I follow somebody else's pattern because I'm following somebody else's pattern and then I have to pay more attention. Yeah, there's that. So I have been knitting with an abandon because these poor little socks, I could have gotten so much done. I could have, I tell you, I could have. But they were in timeout. They were locked away. They were put in a cage like they were naughty. They were not naughty. I did not put them in the cage. And look, I think I've got 50 rows right here. I think it's 50 rows. I'll have to count, do the 55, and then I can be there on, look at that. I have both started. I wasn't worried about starting them in the same spot. If I wanted to, these would have been exact pairs. See right here, right there. If I would have wound off that much and then started it, they'd be exactly pairs. I wasn't concerned about it. The kids aren't concerned about it. So they're just going to be offset a bit, and that's fine. And they're going to be beautiful. And I love the orange and the green. We know that. I mean, come on. I picked the yarn. Of course I love the yarn. It's stunning. And I'm not sure who these are going to go to. I don't know if this was necessarily something that my daughter-in-law, the one that just had baby number 4, Noah's mama. I don't know if this is necessarily her color, because then I can make the sock to her size feet, since it looks like I'm going to get these done and they're a vanilla pattern, so I should knock this out. Quick isn't, quick is relative, but I should knock it out pretty quick, right? That would be good. Get those ends woven in and add this to the box. I think with everything that I've got on the needles, I've got enough for everybody. Hers is a concern because of a size constraint, and I need to make sure that I have some things that fit her. And I don't think that's the case. I was looking at, and they're downstairs, they're an octopus pile of needles, I can tell you that. The circuit socks are bright colors, and they've got dark gray, and it's beautiful. Bright, sunshiny, happy mosaic color pattern. And I was thinking of doing that for her, but I realized with the cast on and the amount of stitches I have, it's going to be too big around the ankle and the foot. So I've got to regroup on that. I'm not sure on this one. Maybe I'll just make it to where it fits her anyway, and she can have a couple of choices. There you have it. I love it. And then I know her husband likes it. Yeah, Stefan, our son, he likes this particular pair, but he's not as picky. He likes, well, I don't think any of them are really picky. They just like the fact that they get socks that fit them. They like it when they get choices, but she doesn't normally get a lot of choices because she has small feet. And my oldest son doesn't normally get a lot of choices. He's got the largest feet. So the things are made specifically to them. So I try to make things that I think that they'll enjoy. But Yeah, I'm having a blast. I am. It's August. I'm still making socks and I'm still making progress. And this one, I had to do it. This was the yarn that I got from Wool Warehouse. My first time playing with Drops yarns. I've used Drops patterns. I have definitely used their patterns quite a bit and made lots of different things. They're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful patterns. Yes, I made a crocheted dress. Yes, I did. So I've made things and I've used their patterns, but I didn't have their, I didn't order their yarn. Have I used their yarn before? Yes, the dress that I made, I used the exact yarn that it called for. But I mean, I didn't buy yarn specifically from Drops to make things for myself or just to have on hand. That was something that I did for a friend for her high school reunion. Yeah, made her dress, crocheted her dress so she could wear it to her high school reunion, and used the actual yarn that the pattern called for. It was Drops. So this is the first time for me ordering it for me to play with, and I'm like, I got things going on. Leave it alone. And it called to me. And you guys are funny because you're like, man, you held out longer than I thought you were going to. I know, I was surprised too. Would I hold out like 3-4 days, maybe 5? I'm not sure. I didn't hold out more than a week, I don't think. Right? I'm like, I have to do it. I have needles. I'm like, I've got needles. I'm gonna do it. And now it's really exciting because both of them are close to the heel. The one, 5 more rounds, man. 5 more rounds is not much. And I will be at the heel flap. How exciting. And to have gotten through the heel flap on the one and I'm already at that gusset level. Oh, we're flying now, man. We're flying now. This is, if I would have stuck with just one sock at a time, I would have already been on the second sock and one sock done. But there's something psychological about doing it this way. They're there. They're going to happen. It's happening. It's happening. It's going to happen. So this is my sock foray for the week. Oh, how much fun. And oh, I did work on this one. And let me see, where'd it go? Oh, let go. So I did work on this and I have more to do. It got waylaid too. So I had the heel flaps. We found this one right after the, right here. Yes. So this is where we found it. So I got the heel flap and then I was looking, and that's why I know this. I was looking, I'm like, that's not the same, that curves. And looking at it very closely, I believe my decrease is, oh, and I didn't do it consistently either. Yeah, how much fun is that? So it looks, oh, recreate that one, that'll be fun. It looks like I did decrease, plain, decrease, plain, so many times. I'm not sure how many. And then decreased every run for the last so many. Yeah. Or no, it was so it was the 2 decreases and then the plain. Did that for a while and then I went to every other. So I've got to make sure that I recreate it properly. And have we discussed how dark this blue is? This is a dark navy blue, and yeah, right here when I've got the ring light right behind, we can see this line, but when I'm sitting in my chair downstairs, that's not as easy to see to try to count. Maybe I'm gonna have to do that. That might be a good idea. Take a good close-up picture. Okay, let's face it, our phones are our new magnifying glasses, by the way. If you were not aware of that, that's what it is. Take a good picture of it, just like this, up close with the light. Here, let me cover my face. Up close with the light, having it focus, and then take that and you can expand it a little bit and then try to count it. That's a good way to do it. So I might have to do that, figure out which side is easier to see those decreases, because there's differences on each side. It does look a little different. Do that, take the picture, try to get it accurate. I think if I was just off a little bit, maybe it's not so much of a deal, but if I were to do my typical decreases, it would make a difference in the fit. It would make a difference in the size of the sock. So I do have to pay attention to that. That is my own added angst. What were you thinking? I don't know. I don't, my husband doesn't even realize I started those. He doesn't. So they must have been a surprise toe sock for him. They must have been surprised for him. They do fit a little bit big, but this yarn does shrink. I do know that. But so that's why they're a little bit big. But this was a surprise for him. He does not remember me making these. So, there you go. I'm gonna finish making them. And I'm kind of hoping I don't find any more socks on the Tuesday series. I'm telling you. I don't know how many pairs we found, but it's been a few. And I've actually finished a few of them. I really have. I've gone through and just finishing these. The oldest pair was 19 years old. I finished a 19-year-old pair of socks. Yeah, it's been waiting for 19 years. So if you have projects that have been unloved for a while, just know if you have not pulled them out, one day you could get back to them. I did. There you go. You could do it too. You could. You sure could. And don't beat yourself up if it's taken a little while. It's all right. I mean, did I really think that I was going to go back and finish a 19-year-old pair of socks? No, not at all. No, that pair of socks has a driver's license. That pair of socks can vote, right? That's an older pair of socks. I'm just saying it is. So I just, wow. But we can do fun stuff. We can. You got the power. You can go back and you can work on some things. I've got the power and the ability, and I can go back and work on some things, and they don't control us. They don't own us. We can make it work. We've got that. We do. So that's where I'm at with my socks. And hopefully the next time I talk to you, I will have started on some of the other socks, because I know I have some other things in the works that I'm really close to. Another one I found, okay, and I'm close to finishing that sock to start the second sock. And my Black Fire Opal socks, I was at the toe of that one too. So I've got 2 socks that I'm at the toe, and I just have to do it. I just have to do it. I think that's more for that responsible crafting series. I'm just saying the responsible thing would be to finish off the toes, stop talking about it, and start the second sock so they don't end up in a bin 19 years later. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.